We'll be looking at a video clip from a Haitian, the black man from Haiti. He has a whole lot of stuff to talk about, and so it's important that you hear what he has to say. I don't want to be the one that would spoil the story so that you can be able to deduce what he's saying. All credit to the original content creators video we'll be using in this clips. So I want you to relax, sit back and hear what he has to say. Then at the end of the video, we'll come to analyze, what he has said and what you think of it.
All right, check this one right here. Cause this one I gotta take off my glasses because, oh my gosh, these FBAs are the dumbest people on the planet. This could be easily debunked because see, that's how ignorant these guys are. Sometimes you just gotta hold your head and say, how stupid can a group of people be? And for those who are just newly following me, I always make the distinction between Black Americans and FBA. This guy's an FBA. He's an N. Okay, N's. And what I say about the Black Americans, there's a difference between Black Americans and FBA. FBAs are the N's, they're the ratchet, the ghetto. He's one of them. Because for him to make the statement, you can see how stupid he can be. Now, peep this. Before I continue, let's read. He says, many African, Caribbean, Haitian grandparents and parents started this BS. So meaning he's saying that we all came here and just say, you know what? Let's all attack FBA. Does that make any sense? Does that really make any sense that we just happen to just come over here? We don't know the laws, we don't know the lands, and we just going to happen to attack FBA. Meanwhile, every ethnic group has a story about you. See, unless every ethnic group has a story about Africans, or for this matter, you said Haitians, unless every ethnic group has a story about us, then you have a point. But in this case, every ethnic group has a story about you. Why is that? The Chinese got a story about you. The Arabs got a story about you. Okay, the freaking Hispanics have a story about you, and us, we have a story about you. Even whites. I even have videos right now of y'all doing stuff against all these different people. Yet we're the problem. And then he has the nerve to say Haitians are the biggest anti-black. That's the dumbest crap I've ever heard in the world. That's the dumbest crap I ever heard. Because if it was true, like I said, Haitians would not get along with nobody as far as Africans and Caribbeans. And we're talking about now, as we can see, for the most part, we get along with everybody. It's you. You don't get along with everybody. That's the problem, and you don't want to take accountability. Then he said they told you not to link up with Black Americans. No shit. And why would they say that? For those who've been following me, why would they say don't link up with Black Americans? What did I say when Caribbeans and Africans came over here? Okay, if they're coming from a culture where there's no violence, there's no fighting, but they come over here, they're seeing all this fighting amongst y'all. Do you think they want? And then on top of that, y'all there whooping Caribbeans and Africans' asses. Do you think they want their kids to link up with you? How dumb can a group of men be? And this was supposed to be the smartest people of the diaspora. Because see, you would think, because with all the history that we've been sharing in the United States, globally, we've been sharing, you would think, he's coming from a lineage where they share all this black history, and see how dumb they can be. For him to say that dumb stuff. Okay, it's common sense. The reason why they don't want us to be around your dumb ass is because you were messing with Caribbeans and Africans, and y'all don't even get along. So why would they want us to link with you? How stupid can a group of guys be? Well, women too, who think like him. He said, now you're playing the victim for their sins. Oh, so we're playing the victim of the sins. No, I think what it is you're BSing yourself. Because as I said before, it's too many people who have receipts on you. And then he says a stupid comment, which is not on here. It goes further on. He says Haitians are the biggest anti-black. That is the stupidest crap. No, I think you are the biggest anti-black because you proved it. You don't see Haitians attacking the whole Africa. You don't see Haitians attacking the whole Caribbean, but we see you doing that. So you are the biggest anti-black. How dumb can these guys be? Yeah, you know what? Black Americans, please do us a favor. Okay, get rid of these guys. Okay, delineate from them too. Okay, they always talk about delineating. Okay, I need y'all to separate from these dummies, because these guys, see, as I explained, see, these guys are talking for behalf of you. So some Caribbeans and Africans, they can't decipher. I can decipher because I know them. See, so y'all need to make it clear to separate from these a-holes, because they're stupid. And they are showing the world how stupid they can be. Think about it. If everyone have a story about you, it's not Haitians that have a story about it. It's not Africans. If every group has a story about you, guess who's the common factor?
Oh my God, was that Crazy Town? I feel like this was Bizarro World. I've never seen a man vomit his projections. This was difficult to watch. It's interesting that he decided to go with we are the dumbest group of people ever. One could easily make that argument about him. He is all over the place with his projections. He's spewing it out like hot vomit. He has a problem with himself. He didn't even read the man's comment right. He contradicts himself, though, because he started it out by saying, why would we be against you? Does that make any sense? And then he was like, of course we would be against you. You beat us up. And everybody, HATEU, everybody, and nobody likes you. Everybody got a story about you. It's probably a good one, by the way. But he's a man who's here and he's inferior. This is all screaming inferiority complex. I see this a lot happening with a lot of melanated immigrants here. And they instantly start to compare themselves to us, the mighty Black Americans. And they can't compare. Can't compete where you can't compare. So they play the game, they tether on, they try to be us and become everything that we've become, but they don't have the soul and the heart. They don't have the same motivation. We're about restitution over here. We are about, we're people of this land. We care about things. They come to take, right? They come to just take and compare. Instead of focusing on their own failed homelands, they focus on us. And he's called for division. First of all, he separates foundational Black Americans, or FBA, from Black Americans. And foundational Black Americans is just another ethnonym. FBA is the abbreviation for that. There's no separation. It's literally describing the same people group, but he's a little bit dense. I don't think he understands that. Like, he couldn't really, understand what the comment was saying either. So I knew that there was some deficits going on there with his understanding, maybe comprehension. And then he called for division, right? He said, he called us N's and all of this. If you are FBA, you are a N or whatever. Again, you're talking shit about our lineage. We're talking about the people group here. We have people who identify as indigenous because we are indigenous to here, right? Foundational sort of covers all of it, but he wouldn't understand that. It's not for him to understand. His very small-minded, limited perspective would never be able to grasp concepts like this. And the intricacies of being a Black American, he has no idea. He's a leech, and he is cocky to boot. He's cocky about it. And quite ugly on the inside. He's ugly on the inside. It's kind of a horrible person on the inside. If immigrants feel like this, if there are Haitians that I didn't grow up around you guys, and I came up here later, but to the East Coast. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. We didn't have y'all around like that. But I know Miami has a high Haitian population and stuff. I didn't really get a chance to experience it. But when I came here, I did feel the disdain. It's an energy. We pick it up, right? So this is a crazed lunatic who is scared and inferior, wishes he was a Black American man, and, is afraid. He's afraid. But that's okay. He's up underneath the mighty Black Americans. He's still safe. He feels safe enough to talk ish to us even. Either way, this was a mess.
Just to be clear, I'm a Black American, FBA, and ADOS, whatever the fuck we're calling ourselves this year, who believes that they are of African descent. Our ancestors came from Africa. Okay? Like, I'm not doing the whole native. If you want to bring your copper color ass on my page, prepare to get blocked. I'm not going to dialogue with you. I'm just going to block you. A lot of you are bots, robots. I don't know who's funding you. I know that it benefits the empire that Black people in the diaspora fight among each other. I'm not with that. I'm about unity. I think all black people, all African people around the globe need to be united. I believe in the proponents of Pan-Africanism. I believe in global solidarity and global, we all have the same enemy. If you're not on that shit, see yourself the fuck off my page. I'm just gonna block you. I'm a black American, but I am an African. Okay?
So guys, you've watched this video from this Haitian, and I think there's a great confusion. 2026, black Americans came out and began to use the phrase FBA, Foundational Black Americans, and he was trying to say that these FBAs are the ones who are responsible for hating on all other ethnic groups, and that black Americans were different, and that it was calling on black Americans to speak to FBAs. Now, it's important that we understand, because it's like the information on ground is causing, a great confusion. What is the distinction between FBAs? What is the distinction between black Americans, and African Americans? And if I'm meant to say, I know that black Americans should be FBA. That is who they are. Then African Americans are those who came from, Africa via the transatlantic slave trade, who became integrated into the American system. And so they have their primary origin from Africa. But FBAs are Foundational Black America. What I mean by that was that they were on ground before the white imperialist masters of old came and met them on ground. So they defined themselves as FBA. And, this saga, this issue, I felt should have come to an end, but every time seems to come up, because there's this tug of war, so to say, back and forth, where there's a pointing of finger, there's an accusation. You said that, who said that, you said this to us, and we are responding, and I was using a whole lot of curse words, which I don't think is quite healthy for the black community as a whole, whether Haitian, whether African American, whether Caribbean. There's something we all share in common. I think that is the melanated skin. And I think that many times when people do things, people do bad stuff, it's important that you isolate the person or isolate the group of person, rather than rubbing it on everyone and classifying everyone as being hateful, being disrespectful, being insultive, being abusive. But that is just my candid opinion. I think that if there's anything we all share together, is that we are all melanated in our nature, and you can't erase it. Whether you're foundational black American, you are African American, or whatever. So, but that's just my thoughts, that's my opinion. I think we all should look for all these things that bind us together rather than things that divide us together. And that is very, very key. But these are my thoughts and my opinions. So all credit to the original content creator. You're coming across my YouTube channel. Please, if you enjoy what we do, one of the greatest way to support and encourage your brother is to hit that notification button, hit that subscription button, so that when we bring up new updates, you'll be the first to be notified. So let's get into the comment section. Let the conversation begin. I want to know what your thoughts, your opinions are on this very, very subject matter. I trust to see you again on my next video. Stay blessed.